have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond, worry no more. Because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635 9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited, or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051, or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Agada Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenje.
Okay. Important. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
Mbare.
Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na lo mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo katon.
Bari si kodo kino katon nim fo bolong blabe.
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam.
Ha?
Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nim kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata another enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale le dadi mani domorol dir fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
barka ba ya lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bukani la ko la barka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Barka.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Hello and welcome to the brunch. I'm Lamin Chairman. This is our weekly look at current affairs. That is, of course, a look at the major events of the country in the last 7 days. Now, this week, the Gambia, or this actually on Thursday, the Gambia marks 100 years since the birth of former President Sadauda Kairaba Jawara. He would have been 100 years this week, but unfortunately, of course, as we know, he passed away on 27th August 2019. He was 95. His birthday was celebrated with a number of activities, but an organization at the forefront of actually preserving whatever Sadauda Jawara had done for the country or for the continent is KairaCLO. You must have heard of KairaCLO. It's a very subtle acronym given to this organization, and I will leave the privilege and the honor of unraveling this KairaCLO to the members of the organizations themselves. I'm in the studio with the chairman, Almami Fanding Taal, mostly known in political circles, but he's also a lawyer and he is the chairman of this organization. He's with me in the studio with the secretary of the organization, Bemba Tambedou. Bemba Tambedou is a trained journalist, broadcaster, a consummate broadcaster for that matter, and later politician. He's also, I guess, a businessman, I can say.
Yes, for some time. Yeah.
For some time. Bemba worked at Radio Gambia, and then he contested elections in Tuman constituency before the 1994 coup d'etat, and for some time he served as Minister of Communications, actually, in the Gambia. Bemba is the secretary to KairaCLO. Bemba, welcome.
Thank you very much, Lamin.
Thank you. Now, let's begin with KairaCLO first before we move on to the activities and we explore and expand the objective of the organization. What is KairaCLO? I leave that honor to Almami Fanding Taal, the chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cham, and thank you for having us on the brunch. The Kairaba Conservation and Leadership Organization, for short KairaCLO, was formed in November 2022, dedicated really to conserving the legacy, the very rich legacy of the first president of the Gambia, particularly in the area of conservation and leadership. These are the two main focus areas of our organization. It was formed, I think, 3 weeks before ECOWAS recognized posthumously Saudada's outstanding contribution to the development of not only the Gambia but West Africa, and his leadership and championing of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. He was known as an apostle for peace and good governance. So we thought, as a legacy, the Gambia has a lot to offer, not only the sub-region, but our own citizens, our own children. So we were very heartened when we had that recognition coming from the regional organization, which next year would turn 50. So from that very humble beginning, we gathered together very experienced Gambians in our formation, including the Vice Chairperson of KairaCLO, Her Excellency, the former Ambassador to Southeast Asia based in Malaysia, Ramzi Diab, Mr. Aliu Jawara, a nephew of Sir Dauda, was a founding member of the organization. Of course, the Secretary General, Honorable Bemba Tambedou, the former Ambassador to Nigeria, Excellency Amadou Taal, the former Ambassador to Sierra Leone, Mr. Ibrahim Amane. These are doyen of the Fourth Republic.
Absolutely.
Their professional life, professional growth was spent with the Fourth Republic. Then we have professionals, civil servants also, Mr. Anes Obi.
Anes Obi.
Yes.
Now with ECOWAS.
Well, he has retired from
retired.
ECOWAS recently.
Okay.
Yes, and Gabu Mendy, one Dr. Gabu Mendy.
Yes.
He's based,
America.
yes, based in America.
How about him?
Aisata Cham, Drame, Mr. Haruna Drame's wife, MC Cham's daughter.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure she's going to complain again
Yes,
that
I know.
I always introduce her that way, but just to,
Yeah.
because there are quite a few Aisata Chams around.
Yes, yes.
Miss Rohi Samba Jallo, Mrs. Rohi Samba Jallo.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, the marine engineer and communication specialist. Yes, and who else? Professor Sidat Yafa,
Oh, yeah.
the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, and also the Director of WASCAL. Mr. Ablai Danso, formerly PS
Okay.
of Agriculture. So we have a very eclectic team. If I try to name everyone, I'm sure Honorable Bemba will remember to name one or two if I have missed anyone. But the inspiration was provided by the Banjul Declaration. And we launched the organization on the 99th birthday of Sir Dauda.
Yeah.
That was May in 2023.
Okay.
And the anticipation, the preparation was for the centenary. We thought it would be a fitting time to raise the profile of the first leader, so that those who are not familiar with his leadership style, like you alluded to, would have the opportunity. And we had a series of activities, and I would allow my very able Secretary General to give maybe a blow-by-blow account on that. I have a tendency to go on and on when it comes to the KairaCLO conservation.
Good.
But that is the origin story of the KairaCLO Conservation and Leadership Organization.
Good. I'm impressed with the composition of the members of the composition of the organization.
Yes.
Like you said,
that's the board of trustees. Yes.
There are people such as Secretary General himself who might have disagreed with Sadauda during the later part of his political life. Like I said in introduction, Bemba was a member of parliament for the opposition GPP at the time. But you know, now the very nature and diverse nature of the committee members reflected actually what everybody had thought, that Sadauda was a man of the people. He was so tolerant and so inclusive. So it didn't surprise anybody that people who might even have disagreed with him all agreed that this is somebody who had served humanity and Gambia and needs really to be remembered forever. Your initiative is very, very laudable, and I'm sure you have lofty and even far more, big ambitions to have him remembered forever. Take us through to, and in fact, if you may start with exploring more of the objectives of KairaCLO.
Thank you, Mr. Cham. I just want to emphasize one point, which the chairman maybe overlooked, and that is the...
No, he didn't overlook, he apportioned that to you.
the fact that the KairaCLO Conservation and Leadership Organization is first and foremost non-political. It is non-denominational and non-partisan. So that probably explains...
And non-profit.
And non-profit. That probably explains why you have people of various backgrounds coming together. And one like myself, who had, was on the political, the opposite political divide with Sadauda, today working to promote his legacy. Sadauda was a man for everybody. Politics then under Sadauda is quite different from what it has been in the past 20, 25, 30 years.
Absolutely.
The politics then was civilized, was civil. People respected one another, even though they were not, of the same political ideology.
Yeah.
And I can take an example from myself. When I was contesting the Tumanna seat against a PPP candidate, a very prominent
MC Cham, you have to say there's no...
Yes.
It was MC Cham who was,
yes, he was
finance minister and very...
Yes, he was a very powerful member of
influential.
the PPP. And throughout the 15 years that I contested him, there was not a single occasion where we had any major dispute or major clash of words and insults flying left, right, and center.
I remember I covered the by-election of '93.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I respected him as an elderly statesman, and he respected me as an opponent.
Absolutely.
And that was how politics was then. Now, KairaCLO, the Kairaba Conservation and Leadership Organization, has as its major objective to promote the legacy of the Gambia's first leader, Sadauda Kairaba Jawara, who became, an icon not only for this country but also for politics in Africa and the world.
Exactly.
And we think that today a lot of young people in this country do not have a clear memory of who Sadauda was. The chairman always says that in his days when he was in school, two words always stand out. That is flora and fauna.
Yeah.
I think Lamin Cham even repeated it.
Repeated it here.
So, but today, if you go to a classroom and say, what is the significance of those two words, flora and fauna? I doubt whether you'll have anybody who will respond correctly. So these are some of the things that we think we should work on and bring back to life. And one way of doing this is KairaCLO has decided we will reprint the Banjul Declaration and distribute this to schools, institutions, as it used to be when it came out in 1977.
Yeah.
Bring it back to life.
Yeah.
Those are one of our objectives, and we have started doing that. We have distributed a few copies to the media, to the local government institutions, and we will continue doing that for the rest of the country through the Ministry of Education. Ministry of Basic Education, with whom we intend to sign a memorandum of understanding so that we can be successful in getting this a wide distribution as possible. KairaCLO also has already, well, let me put it this way, we are very inclusive. That's the policy of the organization. We have met as many government offices, of government departments and institutions as possible to explain what we are about. These include the Ministry of Education. We wanted to meet the Ministry of Justice also, but that has to come yet. It has not happened. But we have met the Ministry of Agriculture, and lower down the echelon, we have met the Ministry of National environment. The minister, we've met the permanent secretaries and the deputy permanent secretaries. So we are working to bring everybody under one umbrella. Okay. Because when you talk about Sadauda, you are not talking about an individual, you're talking about a philosophy, and you're talking about a whole country. And I think, like Mr. Jibairu at the National Assembly said, KairaCLO is not only for the current members of the Board of Trustees, it's for every Gambian.
Yeah.
Irrespective of your religion, irrespective of your political affiliation, it is, a national event. Okay. And I think that's the way we want to keep it.
You mentioned specifically Sadauda's love for the environment, fauna and flora. He had, well, as a professional, he was a veterinary officer and had a lot of interest in the welfare of animals. And then, of course, the protection of the environments, leading, of course, he left us a legacy, a historic legacy, the Banjul Declaration. And if I heard you well, you want this legacy to be revitalized and popularized, as it was in the 1970s and 80s. That's a good thing. But then, apart from environment, Sadauda had also another passion that really made him a global icon. You talk about it, and I would like Almami to expand on that. Is leadership, his fervent and unshakable belief in democracy and respect for the rule of law and human rights. Do you have, apart from this heavy concentration on his environmental aspect of his life, do you have any in the organization, in the plans of KairaCLO to promote the other part of him being good governance and democracy? So I give it to, I think give it to Almami.
Indeed. We see and look at the legacy of Sadauda in its totality. What we are trying as much as possible not to do is to turn it into some kind of political football.
Yeah, because when you say it's apolitical, and then I know that you can't have his legacy preserved entirely without dedicating a portion to his passion for good governance. Yes. And politics may come in there, for example.
Yes, but it would not be partisan politics.
Okay, that's good. That's
so this talk that he was the leader of PPP, as Mr. Tambedou has explained extensively. But he had companions. Interestingly, two of his vice presidents became his biggest opponents. Okay. That is the GPP, Hassan Musa Kamara was Sadauda's vice president, Sirif Mustafa Adiba, that's right. Who, because of some malfeasance on his younger brother's part, he was among the first persons in the history of Gambia to resign from office.
That was honorable.
Yes.
Very honorable.
Yes. So if you want to talk about Sadauda's political leadership skills and style, we have a dedication. Okay. There is going to be a memorial lecture
on democracy.
No, on a name for Sadauda.
I see.
So the topics and the themes will be around the leadership style skills of Sadauda across the spectrum of his political life. So that is going to be one of our flagship programs. Annually it will come. It would be a lecture series. But day before yesterday, we had a symposium on the circular economy, because one aspect of his leadership that we don't talk about much is the economic stewardship of the Gambia.
Okay.
You remember the ERP.
Yes.
You remember the Program for Sustained Development in the late 80s and early 90s. Yeah. And the kind of praise Gambia had garnered from the international institution for the kind of leadership, economic stewardship. So these are all areas where we would hope that we can reflect and learn lessons from his approach, this idea of Tacito, a philosophy of self-reliance, which is necessary to help you to live within your means, principally. There is no need for ostentation. As a leader, you must teach the people by example. I and your friend, your brother, Sirif Ojak,
Yeah.
we were classmates with Sadauda's children.
Yeah.
We went to the same schools with them. So,
And you didn't see any undue display of privilege.
affluence or
Affluence,
abuse their privileged position. So that goes not only for Sadauda, his whole cabinet, because he set the tone. The vice president's children were there, ministers' children were there. I was classmates with all of these people. OJ's daughter Amijalo was my classmate. Vice President Dabo, daughter Jara Dabo and Aisatu, they were all my classmates. So when we talk about his legacy, is that he led by example.
Exactly.
And even if you disagree with him politically or his the entire span of his leadership, you cannot deny the fact that he led by example with humility. After all this talk that these Yaya Jammeh people said, he came back home. He had only one home.
Absolutely. And that's well, we will discuss it more.
Yeah. So we as an organization had a centenary program, and I think
that's why I'm coming to.
Bemba talked about it initially. The reprinting and distribution of the Banjul Declaration, we believe, would be a very good starting point to familiarize our children and our grandchildren with the legacy of the man and the vision. In 2-3 years' time, it would be 50 years old. The message contained in that document
is still relevant today, as it was 50 years ago. In fact, I think much more relevant now, since we have this environmental catastrophes that we haven't quite manifested during his time. And
the reason, Mr. Cham, for that is that we have not actually followed the advice that was given 47 years ago by Sadauda in that Banjul Declaration. If we had, perhaps, we would not have been suffering the way we are suffering today, due to climate change. When I say we, I'm not only talking about the Gambia, I mean, globally. Because the ECOWAS recognized the global importance of that document to the point that they awarded him an honorary certificate, is it? Posthumous certificate to glorify what he did and the ideas that contained in that. Now,
that's right. And you took a cue from that by including and several activities in his centenary. By bringing up that philosophy of him that we need to protect the environment by planting trees. I remember you did slogan then when I was in school, when it was plant trees now for tomorrow. Today's trees were planted yesterday.
Yes.
I remember that was when I was in primary 6.
That's right.
Grade. I'll talk about.
Must have been a very clever boy.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember it all.
And Sadauda, as I said in one of my write-ups on the Banjul Declaration, Sadauda did not only talk the talk. He put what he said into action.
Absolutely.
Because I was at Radio Gambia as a young reporter when the 1977 declaration was being read, and I happened to be a member of the team that were reporting on that occasion. And soon after that declaration, Sadauda embarked on an extensive tree planting exercise.
Tested trees all over.
Exactly.
And I remember the opposition were saying, look at him planting trees that doesn't bear fruit that people will eat. Let him bring fruits that people will eat. The government just wanted mango trees perhaps, and he went for neem trees. But then,
but that was the kind of person he is. Sadauda had a garden in Banjulundi. And during his presidency, the early part of his presidency until the middle part of it, Sadauda would travel from Banjul to Banjulundi every weekend on Sundays in his car, accompanied by a driver and an ADC.
Few bodyguards,
No bodyguard, the ADC, the driver, and Sadauda himself.
He was that.
He was that simple. And in that garden, he had everything. There were animals, there were birds, there were fruit trees, there were ornamental trees. It was an example, you know. And as the chairman said, Sadauda lived by example, and that is what we want to.
So you had these activities. Tell us too, because we have a video of it which we will share with our viewers. But where and where? Well,
as you rightly said at the beginning, the 16th of May was Sadauda's 100th birthday. If he were alive today, he would have been 100 years old. But thank God, you know.
But he lived 99.9% of that century.
Yes.
Very rare indeed.
Very rare.
That's right. Yeah. So Kaira Conservation and Leadership Organization, KairaCLO, you know, prepared a series of events to mark this centenary year. We started with a press conference in which we, first of all, you know, drew the conscience of the nation that this year is the centenary year of Sadauda's birth, and also what KairaCLO is about and what we plan to do. Then that was followed by a symposium, a national symposium on waste management and transformation opportunities in the Gambia, which was very well attended, organized on the 24th of April, sorry, which is the Republic Day, at Ocean Bay Hotel. And we had organizations such as the Kanifi Municipal Council, the National Environment Agency, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, all participating in this.
The Chamber of Commerce.
And the Chamber of Commerce as well. You know, so it was very well attended, and the report is being prepared. As soon as it is ready, it will be distributed nationwide. Then the symposium was followed by a TV round table discussion on GRTS on the birthday itself. It was aired on the 16th of May, in which various dignitaries took part, include Pastor Forbes, and other
John Charles,
No, Sadauda Jr.
Sadauda Jr.
Sukaimbai
Bojang,
Yes.
And it was a very successful program as well. And this was followed, as you already know, by the tree planting ceremonies.
Yeah, that you had.
One was at the National Assembly grounds, and the other was at the Caraba International Conference Center in Vigilo.
And it's at one of those venues that we are going straight, that is the grounds of the National Assembly. This is significant because that's where Sadauda remains.
Exactly. Actually, we wanted to plant the trees around his mausoleum, but since it's still under construction, the grounds are not yet prepared to accept that kind of exercise. The National Assembly authorities decided not to cancel it, but to relocate it in front, on the right side of the frontage of the National Assembly.
And right in front of the mausoleum.
Symbolically, that's right.
Yeah, that's the right place.
Right. And you had high-profile personalities who took part in the exercise and spoke out about the importance of the day. So we're going to share highlights from that exercise in this video coming. Charles, so what?
اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وعافهم واعف عنهم وأكرم نزلهم ووسع مدخلهم واغسلهم بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقهم من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس وجازهم بالحسنات إحسانا وبالسيئات عفوا وغفرانا حتى يكونوا في بطون الألحاد مطمئنين وعند قيام الأشهاد آمنين وإن إلى أعلى جناتك سابقين اللهم اغفر لهم وارحم.
Pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Almighty God, grants him peace and rest, and places him amongst the best spots in Al-Jannah. And Lord, we pray that Allah continues to guide and protect the country, the nation, which he worked so hard, which he loved so hard, that the values he showed us continue to prosper, values of democracy, of peace, of unity, of respect for each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me also thank the organizers of this as a remembrance to His Excellency I think it's a befitting one. The man who led us to independence during those most difficult times, when our doubting Thomas never believed that Gambia can be an independent state. And he laid the foundation to what we are today. Most befitting also is to recognize this centenary with the planting of trees. I remember the Banjul Declaration. 1977? How many years back? When the world hardly thought about climate change and all these things. That was the foresight of the man we are celebrating today. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant his soul and other departed souls Jannatul Firdaus. When we cherished the foundation he has laid for government, that brotherhood, rule of law, democracy, good governance, humility. I hope and pray that those will be guiding principles in our way forward for this country in years to come.
A century ago, the peaceful, noble, illustrious, and great son of the soil was born. And he became our first president, and he succeeded in maintaining peace in this country, and he was recognized and known worldwide as a man of peace. It was during his government, his administration, that the Gambia gained a very good reputation worldwide. He recognized everybody as a human person, regardless of your tribe, your religion, and he worked with all people. And so on this day we mark his birthday. We thank God for his life, his example, and the noble values that he himself embodied and promoted in the country. We pray that God will enable us all as Gambians to imitate his example, and we pray that the country will be stable, will be peaceful, will be prosperous as he himself wanted it to be. May this tree we plant today always remind us of His Excellency Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara and the legacy that he left us. Thank you.
I wish to thank the organizer of this occasion. Hence, as the CJ have said, it is something befitting. So he was somebody who led the country to post independence. So on that note, I wish to pray for his soul to continue to rest in peace, and the legacy and his family that he left behind, for them to proceed until the Almighty Allah does what is good for us. On that note, once again, I thank the IGP for selecting me to come and represent him on this occasion. I thank you all.
That state without media. The role of media is very important. The legacy that we are celebrating today started with the media. So we consider recognize their efforts, and we applaud them, and we continue to applaud them to continue serving this nation the best of their ability. Thank you
all for gracing this memorable day of Sadauda Kairaba Jawara, the founder of independence in this country and the first president of the First Republic. Today is a very auspicious day for us, and I'm glad that we have all these high dignitaries to come and grace this occasion and plant this tree in memory of what Sir Dauda saw since 1977. He saw what was coming globally, and this is the vision he has today. And I want to thank the Kairaba Conservation and Leadership Initiative, KairaCLO, for having the vision to start this organization, and I think we pray that it will go on and on and on and on, and we have a lot of other things to celebrate during this centenary. So we pray for Sir Dauda's soul to rest in perfect peace, and thank everybody for coming. Thank you.
ونقهم من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس وجازهم بالحسنات إحسانا.
Welcome back to the brunch. Well, that was a glimpse of one of the venues for the tree planting exercise conducted by KairaCLO in commemoration of former President Sadauda's birthday centenary at the National Assembly grounds on the day, actually, on Thursday, I think it was.
Yes, the 16th May.
The 16th May itself.
On his birthday.
We had there the Speaker of the House of Representatives, National Assembly, Fabakary Tom Monjata. We had from the Bishop of Banjul, was it?
Yes.
And then we also had from Ambassador Ramsey Diab.
Chief Justice.
And the Chief Justice Asan Jallo. Among others at the National Assembly.
Honorable Mari Sise.
And Mari Sise, National Assembly member for Serekunda West.
Specifically planted the tree for the media.
For the media? Oh, he represented us there.
Yes, he
Fantastic.
represented the media there.
All right. Okay, so from then on, what else did you do?
There was a prayer service at the Pipeline Mosque.
Yes. Right.
Attended by the Imam Ratib of the Gambia.
Right.
Imam
himself.
Yes,
yeah.
And the Imam,
yes,
the Imam of Brikama, and several other Imams
from Barajali.
Were from Barajali.
Barajali is native.
Were around and offered prayers and testimonials of brothers of Sadauda, family members. All spoke, of course, very glowingly of his memory, and the Chief Justice was also among the supplicants for the prayer service.
Okay.
It was a very poignant and very dignified occasion, and we are grateful to His Excellency President Adama Barrow for organizing and announcing.
Yeah. Did you know specifically what kind of ceremonies the government is intending to put on? I guess they must have given you a hint or tried some collaboration with you. The President announced our government will lead in the commemorations. What do you think, what form and shape do you think it will take?
Well, from the statement, it was clear that the indication is to do the things that would make Sadauda proud, organize symposiums, seminars, and activities that we have also in mind. And of course, the prayer service specifically, which was done. But I think the government probably, according to Dauda Jawara Jr., the mausoleum is in very advanced stage in terms of readiness. Maybe that would be the kickstarting point of the government commemoration or celebration. Just to be clear, KairaCLO is a private initiative. It's not affiliated to the government or to any other organization. Obviously, we are seeking partnership. We have reached out to the government, particularly the concerned ministry, and we are in advanced talk to see what are the opportunities to collaborate. Because we are hoping that after the celebration, after the commemoration, we will have a series of legacy projects that would actually cement and concretize Sadauda's memory in tangible activities and projects that will affect or will continue to affect the life of the citizens for the better. So this is to mark the moment and to call all of us to action. But beyond the celebration, there must be tangible projects that affect and help in adapting to climate change, in mitigating the impact of climate change. In that regard, we are hoping to partner with the University of the Gambia to house the Kairaba Jawara Center for Climate Justice, where reflections, research, and other projects can be started at a community level, at the grassroots level, to make sure that the fight against climate change is not only contained in a declaration, but it becomes part and parcel of the way we do our development.
Another window that you probably organizers may like to explore to popularize and attract people to his legacy, maybe the Banjul Charter, that is of the Human Rights Commission here. That's his brainchild. That's a brainchild of Sadauda. That's another area probably you may like to explore to get to human rights organizations on the continent and even beyond, to get them to recognize or popularize the Banjul Charter as it is synonymous with his name. Do you talk about, because that's another aspect of his life we are talking about. He had a passion for human rights and took it up to the global level.
For Kairaba Conservation and Leadership Organization, the celebration is a year-round activity for us. We're not just celebrating his birthday as such, but also celebrating the centenary year of Sadauda's life. And I would now probably want to invite the chairman to talk on one of our flagship projects we have, which is the annual Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Pan-African Lecture Series, which has some bearing to do with the Human Rights Charter.
Yes, I mean it's very important you talk about the Banjul Charter alongside the Banjul Declaration. So these two documents for us have really put Gambia on the global map. Gambia is seen by everybody as the capital for human rights in Africa. And you cannot talk about Sadauda, or for that matter, the current Chief Justice, because he was practically the midwife of the Banjul Charter. And it was done at a time when there was a complete human rights recession all over Africa. Maybe that is what made our life a lot easier as the host. Of course, I mean, it has never been easy to host an important organization like that. So really, we are going to be also a friend of the Banjul Charter, if you like, to see how we can partner with government and assist government so that the stay of the organization, the African Union organization in the Gambia, is much better, and more human rights centric activities are happening in the Gambia. Thank God to the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Convention Center, which is a global standard in terms of conferencing, meetings, and incentive programs, what they call MICE in tourism. I think it would be part and parcel of our year-long celebrations to bring all of these things to bear. The lecture he spoke about, we are in very advanced talk with a very distinguished Pan-African and a leader of African development efforts.
Okay.
Is because of scheduling issues, we could not have had the lecture.
Yeah.
In fact, today was meant to be the day for the lecture.
As part of the centenary.
Yes, but given the importance of the inaugural lecture, we became quite flexible after considering his schedule.
Yeah.
But once his schedule is cleared, we expect to have positive information, and then a date would be scheduled.
Yeah.
For that lecture.
And it will be within the year.
Definitely, it would be definitely within the year. We hope not too distant from the birthday itself.
Okay. And you don't want to. You have no intention of disclosing this all important.
No, I mean we don't want to force his hand.
Okay.
He's a very distinguished African.
All right.
And the time when he comes on board, everybody would say, "Oh, KairaCLO has really made the best decision."
Okay.
You know, so we are hoping that.
So we're looking at this big lecture with this big speaker.
Yes, and I think it would also bring home the importance of Sadauda, because once we said it to him, he said, "This is definitely something I would like to do."
Good.
But given his scheduling, it has not been possible on the date we have chosen.
Okay.
So we became flexible. We say, okay, given his stature, if he comes anytime in the year and say this, Gambians will listen, the whole world will listen, and that would redound to the greater credit of the Gambia. And we would come back to the fore in terms of African and international affairs. And I think that would be a good thing to talk about human rights, to talk about climate change, to talk about development, conservation and development. These are all current issues, and they are important issues as a nation that we should give every time and energy to at a collective level, not because you are Lamin Cham, you are in the media, or Almami Taal, you are a legal practitioner or a politician, but because Gambia and the whole world needs this kind of leadership that has moral clarity, that has integrity, but also that has the self-sufficiency and self-reliance to propose alternative ways of doing development.
Good.
If I may just quickly add to that, the annual lectures will not be a one-time affair. It will be an annual event that will happen every year. We hope in the future we'll be able to do it on the President's birthday itself, on the 16th. But as I said, due to scheduling reasons, we are not able to say exactly what date it will come on, but certainly before the end of this year. Yes, the centenary anniversary. No, KairaCLO has two facets. There is the conservation aspect of it, and there is the leadership aspect of it. On the conservation side, we have lined up a number of projects that are in the pipeline. One of them is the rejuvenation of the Bakau Botanical Gardens, which Sadauda inherited from the British colonial system, and is
where
now.
are those gardens located? Mile 7?
No,
No, next to the British High Commissioner's residence.
Yes.
Just after the crowd.
Just before you arrive at the.
You know, he's an honorary Bakau citizen, but he doesn't know Bakau.
Okay, yes, the botanical gardens.
Yes, that's right. And that will be of.
Who's responsible for that?
At the moment, the Department of Agriculture is looking after it.
Maybe I passed and I counted all as agriculture department.
Yes. So we are in talks with the Department of Agriculture, and we have also met the British High Commission, and we intend also to rope in the Kanifing Municipal Council. So, like I said, these are the partnerships that we want to build, for Kaira Bioconservation and Leadership Organization. So, if once we put the project together, it will be of immense value, not only to conservation and the preservation of our flora and fauna, but also as a tourist attraction to the Gambia. I've been doing a little bit of research, about this botanical garden, and we've seen that a number of tourist visitors go there. Some are happy, some are not happy. But we want to revitalize this.
Work with the Ministry of Tourism as well.
And rope in the Ministry of Tourism as well, into this, so that together we can do something that will not only conserve the environment, but also will bring some kind of revenue for the country.
Okay.
Another legacy project that I would just also share along these lines is the fauna and flora of the smiling coast of Africa. We found out that quite a few native trees of the Gambia are unknown to the vast majority of the people. The extinct flora or fauna, for that matter, are equally unknown. But most importantly, we found out that our children cannot even, in some of their languages, tell you the different colors that are there.
Oh, I see.
I used to ask university students during my law faculty days the color green in Wolof. Lamin Cham, do you know the color green in Wolof?
The one I know is in French.
Of course it is.
That's very problem.
Yes.
It is.
But I mean, of course, nobody is going to ask you in Mandinka the color green.
No, I'll tell that.
Yes. You know.
Yeah.
And this is not a reflection of on any language.
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling somebody the other time that we found a jello tree at the GTHI.
Okay.
That was actually planted by Sadauda and Kenneth Kaunda decades ago.
Came here,
yes.
68 or 67?
Well, I think
it was in 70.
Yeah, it was in the 70s.
In the 70s.
I think it was. Yeah, it was a subsequent visit also.
Maybe it was second visit.
Yes.
I remember reading that I was either not born or very young when he came and the Super Eagles sang a song.
That was in the
60s.
No, that was in the 70s.
In the 70s?
Yes.
I thought the Super Eagles were gone in the 70s.
No. Well, it's the same band that changed its name.
I know from Monday as early as 72.
Yeah.
So if this was Super Eagles, that might have been in the 60s, which I wasn't aware. I can't remember.
No, but the Super Eagles, Ifang Bondi, are the same. It's the same band. They changed name.
The song was sung when they were Super Eagles.
Yeah.
Then the visit must have taken place somewhere in the late 60s.
Well, that's actually beside the point.
Yeah, okay.
The point I'm making is that that picture book would be part of the legacy. So that if I show my son that this tree is called this in Mandinka, in Wolof, in Fula, in Jola.
He planted that with Kaunda at the...
That's what they told us.
At the hotel school.
Yes, at the hotel school then.
Okay. It's now a very magnificent
it's a magnificent tree.
Huge.
I'm sure you know.
Yeah,
one of these days, if you have the time, just go and maybe find this story and what is true of it or not.
Exactly.
Someone like Hasum Sise, the resident historian of the Gambia, may be able to weigh in on that. But the point is that as a legacy project, we think that that kind of knowledge, codifying it, and some of the stories around the fauna, the flora, traditionally what they are associated with, the kind of cures you can get from the kinkiliba and all the other herbs and leaves and, what are they used for in traditional medicine, in traditional knowledge. I think this is going to be an invaluable treasure trove for our young children, but also for the whole of mankind, because there is a lot of knowledge locked in the languages that we speak, and also the environment, the things that are there that we do not know. For example, moringa is now called a superfood.
Yeah, okay.
But people used to have it as part of their diet.
Yes, that's right.
So what is so good about it? Scientifically, you will be able to reduce it to language that people can understand. So these are the kind of things we believe are opportunities that in the centenary of Sadauda could be very useful for national character building, for reflection that actually we are a very rich people. We are a very rich nation, and our history provides us ample opportunities to live a dignified life and to rely on our native intelligence, native genius to build a country that we are all going to be proud of.
When I was thinking also about some of the things you could I talk about sports, particularly golf. That was a discipline that Sadauda had a lot of passion for and promoted actually, not just in the Gambia. He was among the people who used to promote the Pro-Am, that is an international tournament, golf tournament, professionals and amateurs together, attracting people from everywhere in the world. They come here. Since he left, the Pro-Am tournaments will have died out. So this an area I think maybe KairaCLO could have researched and tried to revitalize by organizing the international golf tournaments every year at Fajara. The government should have, leverage on it. Of course, I didn't respect the Jamba government to do that because they had a very bad attitude towards sports. But that would have been another source of tourism if the new government had leverage on that and revitalize the Pro-Am tournament. I don't know whether KairaCLO can...
well, to be quite honest, we have not thought of any programs yet linked to sport. This is an idea. Jawara was also a yachtsman.
Yeah.
He had a beautiful yacht anchored in Banjul.
I remember he was once accused of buying a luxury yacht.
Yes,
you remember he had to take the magazine West Africa.
Well, it was a small yacht. It was not nothing luxurious actually.
Yeah.
And that goes to show that he was a man of class.
Yes.
Sadauda was not just a president; he was also an icon for most people. For the golf, we'll certainly give it. We'll certainly give it a golf and see.
Indeed, and I think the Fajara Golf Club have done a little bit.
Yes, they made
to memorialize.
Honorary. Yes, they did something honorary, and they did a statue.
His contribution.
They did a statue.
Yes. So
that's another area that you could work with them.
Yeah. We probably but I was thinking that traditional sports.
Yes.
He was quite fond of them.
Wrestling as well.
Yes. Like the likes of Shaiban Mahdi as well. In the early days when we were as schoolboys and girls. So traditional knowledge, I think, is one area where there are a lot of opportunities that KairaCLO could find a way, especially the Jali tradition of the Kora, of the Balafong, of this Sabar and Halam.
He knows a lot about that. When he used to do your history.
I know.
The Jalis who used to
Jali Bamba
Susan used to give him a lot of
Kunye Saho.
He knows a lot about it.
Yeah. So this is what is dying away, and it's our purpose to revive and energize these efforts because they have a significant contribution to make towards our identity as a people. Because these are things that we are not taught in school. These are not things that have been codified and in a systematic way. I heard the Honorable Sidia Jata talk very, very passionately about national languages.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that capacity to learn is strengthened if we can do it through our national language or mother tongue. Because your mother is your first teacher.
Absolutely.
It shows you the ways of the community and prepare you for life. So these are all things that we feel in the centenary of Sadauda could come out naturally. And people will find resonance in their relevance to their lives. And from there, they could have a mindset change because we need a significant mindset change to protect the environment, to live within our means, to make sure that our children are giving the right values. They are bombarded with global forces, some of which are benign, some of them are not so benign. So these are all things that as an organization, as a private organization, we think together with the established institutions, we can really bring things together. Remember, Lamin, next year, Gambia would be 60 years old. By the end of the centenary year of Sadauda, all those people who were born on Independence Day
would have turned 60.
Would be statutorily retired.
Oh.
But they have garnered a lot of experience throughout their life. How do we leverage that experience to build a better nation? These are the kind of conversations we hope these centenary activities can inspire and can get people to think about themselves as Gambians first. Because the first Gambian has set the example
for us to follow. How about already there are a number of things that have been done to preserve his memory from the government side I'm talking about now. You have, of course, the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center, and already, even when he was alive and in power, we have the Kairaba Beach Hotel, the Pipeline Road, which is the Pipeline Road, along with called Kairaba Avenue. But are you satisfied as KairaCLO, or maybe you'll be excited if many more landmarks can be named for him or after him?
Sure.
You have that in mind?
Yes.
For example, I don't know what his idea would have been for a statue. I don't think he was very much enthusiastic about like a statue of him somewhere at some prominent place.
Well,
the golf, the golf course.
Yeah.
They are a golf course, but
we will probably think about that down the line. But we also have in the pipeline, we have our vision set on actually renaming some landmark places in the Gambia, not only after Sadauda Jawara, because Sadauda was a leader and he had a team also that he worked with. And we should not lose sight of his team as well. Somewhere with him, somewhere against him. People like P.S. Njai was the first Chief Minister of the Gambia. And
we don't have much.
Nothing has been named after him. And we think that there are certain edifices in the country that could bear his name. We have not identified them yet. We will be working with the relevant authorities to decide that. The other aspect of KairaCLO's work will also be to encourage the introduction of legislation that will protect the environment. For example, the anti-littering law is there, but it's not been enforced. And we think that we can work with the National Assembly and the legal authorities to see how best we can make that functional. The same thing goes for plastics that come into the country. In fact, the symposium that we organized at Ocean Bay had a lot of information regarding plastics and how it's dangerous to the environment, and ways of transforming, opportunities for transforming it into something that could be economically benefit for the country. So we have all these things in sight, and we're working slowly towards them. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, just
wrapping up the program.
Yes,
now,
just to add, in terms of how do we memorialize him, I think monuments are great. We can have as many as possible, but we have to remember, according to our Islamic faith, you don't build statues. We can have other memorials. We can have a torch, for democracy, for human rights, for justice, for peace. We can have those symbolic kind of things. But again, this is not the function of a small organization. It is the state that can only lead to those kind of effort. But one area which I think could be very easily done is to restore his image on our currencies.
Yeah, that's interesting, because in many places, in
the U.S., only dead president can be on the currency.
James Abraham, rather, the first president.
No, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Yes, I mean, quite a few of them are there. But by law, only dead presidents can be on the currency. Of course, a living president can sign on the currency. So I'm just saying that for those kind of things, we have to look at the rule of law. How can we use the rule of law to really immortalize Sadauda? Because
we still have
a great champion.
Not long ago, I had the privilege of meeting central bank officials. They said, how to call it, the coins are still there. Most of our coins are out of circulation. That is because the demand for them is no more. There is hardly anything that is bought for
25 cents.
That's it. But they said they're still not there. They're not prescribed. It's just that there is no need for them. You are right to bring back his portraits. It still remains relevant. First president of the Republic of the Gambia, because that was what was there. When it was first
when he was alive.
So that could still remain. And since I don't think it would be a very difficult thing, since it's only Jammeh who opted to have his photo and image Yes. President Barrow never wanted that, perhaps.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be difficult to persuade this
especially in this centenary year, ask the mint who used to make the currency
tell them
to come up with some medallions of the centenary of the president. This is what happens in other countries like Singapore, for example. I mean, Lee Kuan Yew said
in Naira, don't you still have Namde Azikiwe in the Naira?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. In India has been only Gandhiji who's been there, and I think in China also only Chairman Mao has been on the currency. So really, I think those kind of things are more meaningful in the larger narrative. But the campaigns that Secretary General has mentioned are promotional, because we really have no say or we have no. We just want to bring it to the attention.
It is to
of the public as well.
Government and authorities.
Yes, because that's the work of a civil society organization like ours. We are not claiming monopoly of any personality or anybody. These people have been in the public life of the Gambia. They have contributed. It's for all of us to recognize that and act accordingly in your own way. For us, this is the way we think we can best serve the legacy of Sadauda, and we are doing it at no cost to anybody other than ourselves. Everything we have done during this centenary year did not come from anybody. It is Bemba's money, it's my money, it's somebody else's money, our own contribution. And we do it happily. But we would really like to ask all Gambians who believe in Sadauda and who believe in this legacy being preserved to make their own contributions, to reflect. Just today I was looking through social media. Dr. Sajat Taal's daughter is organizing a lecture series for her father.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the Gambia.
Yes, in the Gambia, I think a day before Africa Day.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the kind of things we hope will inspire a lot more people to try and preserve the legacy of our founding leaders.
Finally, just to run you through quickly some of the things we have in the pipeline. For example, we are thinking of organizing a biodiversity preservation and protection project for the marine environment in the Gambia. Restoration of dying waterways and streams that we have a number of them, like the Kotu stream, which is slowly being killed by encroachment and blockages. And also, finally, what we think would really be a good thing to remember Sadauda for is to create an endowment fund for science and technology. And with that, we hope that we will be working with the University of the Gambia to establish such a fund that will support the development of science and technology. And according to the university, it could be the precursor for the establishment of a veterinary school at the university, which they currently don't have.
Good, fantastic. So there we have it all rolled out here within the last 1 hour or so by members of the KairaCLO, that is KairaCLO, that is the Kairaba Conservative for Conservation and Leadership Organization, KairaCLO, who have been at the forefront in marking commemorations of the centenary of the birth of former President Sadauda Kairaba Jawara. Well, we wish you all the best of success, Mr. Tambedou and Almami Fanding Taal, for your visionary idea, because definitely this is quite inspirational, and everybody would really agree that you have charted the right course of history by trying to immortalize Jawara's legacy for the benefit of the country, because everyone agrees that you may disagree with him, but Jawara actually is the founder of the country. The political history of the Gambia would have changed if we don't have people like Sadauda Jawara, who was able to maintain and build a nation from infancy to now. We thank you very much and all the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cham.
Thank you very much for being on the brunch. We'll be back next week. Until then, wow.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980-8483, 340-9400 or 635-9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited, or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
I get it. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenje.
Okay. Nsila ID soto.
Sorry. agada
bijan ro
alba
mbaka
bara alla service o tariya
bare
ki janna nun kunu bara tariya
janno mi yona forest de bureau gambia ton kon nano mbali ya bere birim koyna fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong labe to
56 branches mola sota gambia jam gambia kono ani gambia bantala bankol nko kono kiya bere kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw janno number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma ni domorol ni fana be teata gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e binaji
yalo bu kanina ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel chosano lo
abaraka